Hey, what's up everybody? This is Dr. Andrew Kim M.D. I'm a board-certified psychiatrist, and today we're going to cover a commonly asked question. Why am I so tired? Why am I so tired? It's a question I ask myself all the time. And look, it's not just me, it's not just you. The CDC estimates that 15% of women and about 10% of men in America feel like they have chronic daily fatigue. But in my opinion, that's probably an underestimate, okay? So look, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna dive into some of the common issues or common categories of things that may be contributing to why you feel so tired day to day. And look, each of these categories could be like an hour-long video in itself. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna briefly just name and touch upon them just to kind of get you to brainstorm, for you to kind of get your juices flowing and maybe think about some of these things if you haven't been able to pinpoint why you feel so tired every day. So let's jump right in. So number one, it sounds kind of obvious, but inadequate sleep. Inadequate sleep. Yes, you're like, duh, that's obvious, Dr. Kim. But look, as obvious as it is, 1 in 3 Americans don't get the recommended 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Again, not daytime napping, but 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night so that you can get at least a couple hours in those deep phases of restorative sleep, okay? And look, if you're not getting adequate sleep, not only is that directly going to lead you to feel tired in the daytime, but that's also linked to unhealthy late night snacking and unhealthy eating habits. And it's also linked to increases in the stress hormone called cortisol, which can also lead to tiredness and effects to your energy level during the daytime. So try your best to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. And if you haven't watched it already, watch my sleep hygiene video. See if you can get some tips from there. Cause number 2, dehydration. Look, when we think about being dehydrated, we usually think about feeling thirsty, having dry mouth, dry lips, feeling dizzy, but sometimes we don't associate it with feeling tired, feeling fatigued. But yes, dehydration, even subtle dehydration, can make you feel sluggish, okay? So rather than chasing and reacting, and then realizing when it's too late that you're feeling sluggish, try to stay hydrated adequately throughout the day. Now, there's no magic formula, unfortunately. I know some people kind of find formulas and they'll say, that old mantra of 8 glasses per day. But look, we're all different sizes. We all have different medical conditions. We live in different climates. We exercise differently. We sweat differently. So there's no magic formula. Like some studies say, like men might need like 13 glasses of water a day. Some women might need 9 to 10 glasses of water a day. But look, basically what I'm saying is try to stay adequately hydrated and see if that helps you feel perked up and a little less sluggish. Cause number 3, unhealthy food and beverage choices. Again, look, I know this sounds obvious, but what you put in your body makes a huge difference on your energy level day to day, okay? If I am eating too little or too much, that can make a difference in whether I feel tired or not, okay? If I'm not getting the right nutrients and I have vitamin deficiencies, literally that can cause problems like anemia, okay? Low blood counts from B12 deficiency, folic acid deficiency, iron deficiency. And when you have anemia, you have less red blood cells, less oxygen carrying capacity, and that leads to fatigue. Am I eating a ton of sugary crap and having spikes and crashes of sugar throughout the day? Am I skipping breakfast and not eating anything to fuel my body to start the day? Am I drinking too much alcohol, which can cause you to feel sluggish and tired? Am I going through caffeine withdrawal because I drink too much energy drinks like I do, and I'm crashing on days that I don't keep up that pattern of caffeine intake? So again, what you put in, what you're going through withdrawal from, all these things can make a difference. So take an honest look in the mirror, take an honest look at your dietary habits, and see if you can change something to make you feel a little less sluggish, all right? Common cause number 4, not getting enough exercise, okay? Do you lead an active versus an inactive or sedentary lifestyle, all right? Studies have shown that people who are relatively inactive, are pretty sedentary, tend to feel chronic fatigue at a much higher percentage than people who exercise regularly. Studies have shown that even trying to get 20 minutes of moderate intensity exercise can make a big difference in your energy levels. All right, so I say try to shoot for, again, like 2.5 to 3 hours of exercise per week. If you could squeeze in, not if, I know you can squeeze in and find 20 minutes to do, whether it's brisk walking, a little bit of resistance training. Again, always consult with your physician or qualified medical professional on what's safe for you. But if you can get some exercise, it can make a difference in your energy level as well. Common cause number 5, chronic excessive stress. Key words on chronic and excessive, because look, we're always going to have stress. Always, all right? That's just inevitable. We don't live Instagram lives, all right, where you look on social media and it almost seems like these people just somehow have these spa lifestyles or spa escape getaways every single day or weekend. That's just not reality, okay? Even when things are going smooth, it's stressful for us, all right? So look, can you identify your acute or chronic stressors? Can you find ways to address them somehow, address the situation, the relationship to reduce the intensity of that stress? If you can't change certain things, can you practice some radical acceptance and just realize I can't change certain things? Can you find 10 to 20 minutes to carve out a day to do something relaxing for yourself, okay? To take care of yourself with some self-care. Because look, if you are exposed to chronic excessive stress, it takes a toll on you. If it's just a little bit of stress, it's not a bad thing. A little bit of stress pushes us to work harder, to go out of our comfort zones, to achieve things we wouldn't if we weren't under some stress, okay? And a little bit of stress sometimes even perks us up, okay? Think about a situation where you were under some stress. It probably kind of got your adrenaline going and you were kind of in fight or flight mode for a little bit and you were more awake. But when you're under chronic excessive stress, that takes a toll on you. When you have stress hormones pumping out all day long, it ends up making you feel exhausted, fatigued, grumpy, and sometimes even depressed, okay? So find some ways to identify your stressors and find ways to reduce that stress level the best you can. Category number 6, medical conditions. So look, if you've gone through the checklist of things from earlier and you said, I'm sleeping 6 to 8 hours, I'm staying hydrated, I'm eating better, I'm exercising, I've reduced my stress the best I can, but Dr. Kim, I'm still exhausted, I'm still tired. Why am I so tired? Well, maybe then it's time to talk to your physician, your nurse practitioner, your qualified medical professional, and say, hey, maybe it's time for my annual physical, or to investigate and dig a little deeper into potential medical causes of why I'm feeling so tired. And again, this by itself, this category could take like 3 hours to cover, so we're not going to list everything, but look, there are so many categories of things that can contribute to feeling tired, okay? Sleep disorders themselves, things like sleep apnea. When you think you're asleep, but you wake up several times, sometimes hundreds of times a night, without even knowing it for a microsecond, to just breathe and get oxygen in your body, all right? Like I said before, your dietary habits might be linked to things like anemia, having a low red blood cell count, carrying less oxygen as a result. Things like your thyroid gland. You have a little gland right here that pumps out a hormone called thyroid hormone. And if you have low thyroid levels, that can lead to fatigue. Uncontrolled diabetes can lead to fatigue. Chronic fatigue syndrome, chronic pain issues that make it hard to sleep at night and just kind of wear you out from the pain throughout the day. Look, all these different things, from that to heart conditions. So have a talk with your medical professional and see if there's a potential medical cause and how you're going to address that. And that may or may not even include doing a sleep study. Category number 7, medication side effects. Okay, and I segue into that because look, maybe now you've identified a medical issue. Maybe part of the solution is taking some prescription medications or over-the-counter medications for that issue. Unfortunately, whether it's supplements, holistic meds, prescription meds, anything you put in your body may have the potential side effect as well of drowsiness or sedation or sleepiness. So you have to check what some of the common or rare side effects are. Unfortunately, a lot of the meds that are commonly prescribed in America have a potential for causing you to feel drowsy, all right? Whether it's things like antihistamines for seasonal allergies, antidepressants, even for depression, can cause sleep problems. Even certain blood pressure meds and cholesterol meds can cause fatigue or drowsiness. Even some antibiotics, benzodiazepines, which are tranquilizer meds, obviously can make you feel sleepy, like Xanax, Valium, etc. So unfortunately, sometimes you, in the previous step, identified a medical issue, and then by treating it with the medications themselves may have some side effects, so talk to your medical professional and see if that might be contributing. The final one, number 8, are mental health or psychiatric issues. Okay, so things like major depressive disorder or chronic depression, chronic anxiety issues like generalized anxiety disorder, panic attacks or panic disorder, things like PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. A number of psychiatric mental health issues have been linked to chronic fatigue and feeling sluggish and having low energy. Okay? And oftentimes, I'm not even talking about the chemical changes that may be happening in your brain and your body, but look, let's take anxiety for an example. If you are chronically anxious and you're chronically tense, yes, there are chemical things that are happening in your brain, but even from a behavioral and physical standpoint, if you're chronically tense, your muscles are tense throughout the day. Your heart might be racing. You might be on edge and breathing rapidly. You might be shaky. Okay, remember that term fight or flight that I mentioned before? So if you're in a chronically tense and anxious state throughout the day, it could be from a combination of what's happening from a neurochemical standpoint here, stress hormones being released, and literally being physically tense throughout the day. The combination of that is exhausting. So it's not even just an examination of physical or medical issues, but mental health or psychiatric issues as well. So look, again, we can list even 5-6 more categories. We can go in depth with each category for an hour at a time, but we just don't have time today. But I wanted you to get thinking, to brainstorm, and maybe this helped you just kind of think about things you haven't thought about before, to pinpoint and help you answer the question, why am I so tired? So hopefully you can pinpoint something. You can either help yourself, find help from others, from medical professionals to address these things. Hopefully you can feel a little bit more energetic, a little bit more pep in your step, and a boost in your energy day to day. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this with others, and continue to stay tuned for upcoming videos from me, Dr. Andrew Kim. Everyone out there, be healthy, be happy, be well. Until next time.